Okay, let's see if this will work. Good grief. I got everything ready. I was having everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, my Wi-Fi went out. I had to reset the router. So hopefully it stays on this time. Good grief. Apparently we can't do anything around here lately. Oh, okay. Fingers crossed it stays working because we have lots to cover tonight. It is not our, as I was saying before, I did start one and then I deleted it because it was only a few seconds long. Tonight is not our regular Knots and Thoughts because we are doing finally, our virtual spring summer yarn tasting. So that's what we're up to tonight. Hopefully comments will work. That would be super good. I might have to sit at the computer if they don't. It's been just a little stressful. So, yeah, yesterday the freezing rain started. Oh no, it started with snow late afternoon and then freezing rain. So I ended up canceling our in-person yarn tasting. Glad to be home early. And then this morning I was left without power. I got up, got the coffee made, took the dog out, barely made it down the road, definitely didn't go very far. And then I had to turn around and come back. And so I just sat down with my coffee and the power flicked on and off, and then flicked on and off. And then finally it just conked out completely. And so I had nothing. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments. Valerie, can you tell me? I don't even know if Valerie's on. Nothing is showing up. Good grief. Let me go to the computer and see if I can see comments over here. Because I can't see comments on my screen. You know, it's always something today. Yes, so then no power. And so I was waiting around for the power to come back on. You know, two things that don't work when there is no power. First of all, the lights, of course, yes. But okay, Valerie says she can see comments. I cannot see comments. Okay, so let me find the live. Yeah, what was I saying? Here we go. Da, da, da. Okay, how do I? Okay, yay, I can see some comments on here. Okay, let me open this up bigger. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Bigger. Can I see the comments? All right. Oh, here we go. Hi, Terry. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Lise. Hi, Diane. Glad you stayed safe yesterday. I think, yeah, that was a good idea. And hi, Patty. There we go. Okay, I can finally see some. All right, so yes, we have continuous glitches, so let me go move some stuff. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, two things that don't work when you don't have power. First of all, hot water. Our hot water system requires power, so we have no power for heated water. And second, the other thing that doesn't work is lights in the bathroom. And that's a little tricky because, of course, our bathroom has no windows. And so it's pitch black in there. I had to leave the door open so I could go pee. So ridiculous. So not fun. But yeah, I survived. So came in a little bit later. Well, no, the usual time because it's Thursday today. Good grief. Don't even know what day it is. Yeah. And then, yeah, I got some work done. I went over my notes again for the yarn tasting and got everything set up late this afternoon. And then, yeah, of course, now I'm having technology issues. So the internet conked. If you're coming in late, it's not just you that's late. It was me too. Because the internet conked out on me just before I started. And also, now I can't see comments, so I'm moving. So there, that's our little introduction to start off the show tonight. Oh, What else can I tell you? I had a funny story. What was it going to be? I'm not sure. You guys can't really tell me a funny story because I'm walking around. Hi, Karen. I'm peeking at the comments as I walk back and forth. Okay, one last thing. And then we can get started. Oh, and my coffee. Oh, I'm so tired. I made coffee. Oh, I didn't even make it. That's good. Okay, let me just add some water. Let me just have some water. I don't need actual coffee. I can survive with just water. Sorry! But I need something to drink if I'm going to do all of this talking tonight. It's been a very long day. Okay, so let me set you down here. Debbie says she just knows the time. Hi, Debbie. It's okay. I was late. Well, and I figured it happens sometimes that people are late. And so I preferred to just, I haven't started the actual yarn tasting stuff yet. I've been yammering about other things, so all good. Dan says, oh, funny story, LOL. I keep calling this a wine tasting and my hubby keeps giving me strange looks when I talk about it. Well, it could be a wine tasting. I stopped at the liquor store on my way in and have a bottle of wine that I could crack open while we chit-chat. But I probably shouldn't because I have to drive home. It's probably a bad idea. So, okay, so before we get started on the actual yarn tasting stuff, let me actually cover a couple of things. So upcoming, we have lots going on all through April, starting with the yarn tasting, which is tonight. But we also have Handmade in the Haunt, our crafting time on Friday and Saturday from 11 to 2 this week again. And then next week on Wednesday, we have our Makers Meetup, which is our evening crafting time on Wednesday the 9th from 11 to 2 again. No, 6 to 8. Let's see, who is coming? Who do I have on here? Anybody? Okay, I'm trying to think. I think, Lise, you said you were coming. I will say, Diane, everybody calls it a wine tasting. Valerie, I'm sure Valerie's coming. Lori said she was coming. I think Claire. Anybody else need a spot? Me, of course. Ha ha. Oh, Kelly. I think Kelly was coming. Oh, yeah. I really should do this list when you guys are all here rather than waiting until after. But all right, if anybody else wants a spot, let me know because we will have a few. Oh, Sophie was coming. I think Chantel and Eileen and Pierrette. Okay, so now I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9. So there's a couple of spots left. We can fit up to 14. Okay, so that's Wednesday coming up. Then, okay, so then the following week is Easter. Easter week. We're calling it Easter week because it's going to feel like the whole week. So, that's also the week I have to pick up Aiden from Waterloo. So Wednesday will be our Knots and Thoughts night. And then Thursday, the store will be closed. And Friday, although I could open Saturday. I am thinking about opening Saturday because then otherwise it's going to be Tuesday when I would open again. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days. Woo! That's a long time to be closed. So I think we'll open on the Saturday. If anybody wants to come in and do a Saturday fiber fix, we could do that. So there'll be some crafting time. The store will be open for shopping if you want. Especially with doing the yarn tasting. And of course, then we're going to have to do a knit along. It's probably best if I am open on the Saturday. Or another make along. I said knit along, I meant make along. So sorry. Okay, and then we're still not done. Book club discussion will be that last full week, the week of the 22nd to the 26th. So I'll have to send out messages. How's everybody liking the book? We're doing Looking for Jane. I have actually one copy left if anybody needs it. Look how far I got. Woo! Basically what's happened is I spend like a Sunday morning and I read almost like 100 pages. So I've just finished part 2 this morning. So I have part 3 left. So I think, is it more than part 3? I'm past the halfway point. I'm at like 60% or something. Oh, there is a part 4. Anybody else been reading? Oh, Diane says she's loving the book. Awesome. Okay, it looks like there's only 2 parts left, but I'm over halfway. Lee says it's a really good book. Yay! I know, I'm liking it. Someone else messaged me and said they're really liking it. I am too. I find it really interesting. It's going pretty quick. So if you are interested in joining in the book club, we do have 1 copy left. If someone wants to borrow, I should have this done pretty soon. I would guess that I will have it done maybe this weekend coming up. If I can read Sunday and Monday, I should have it done. If anybody needs to. Patty says it's a great read. Patty, are you reading it now too, or have you read it previously? Because I'm really liking it. Okay, let me put that back there out of the way. I'm sitting at my desk for a change. Alrighty. Okay, and then let's do a couple of knits and then we'll get into, or a couple of projects that I've been working on, and then we'll do the yarn tasting. Almost there, just in case anybody else is coming late. And then if you're watching this later, well, you can just skip ahead. I just like to give people time to come in, and we always forget. Well, and then some people can only come in later or might watch it later, so. Okay, I have a gigantic FO to show you guys. It's so huge. The most biggest project I've ever done. It's the tiny chicken. Okay, the tiny chicken is about the same size as Scamp's nose, maybe even smaller. It's got a tiny little crown on its head, and teeny little wings, and a teeny little feet. The body itself probably took me under an hour to make. Oh, Patty says she read the book about a year ago, she thinks. Yeah, you can always join our discussion, Patty, if you want. Doing all the little decorative pieces took way longer. I think it took me about another hour to do all that stuff. Because it is a little fiddly, and trying to hide all the ends in. Like you can see a little bit of yellow in here from doing the beak. Lisa says, so cute. Patty says, really cute. And Valerie says, that picture with Scamp was so cute. Oh, thank you. I thought so too. Actually, so the lady who designed the pattern, it's a free pattern off Ravelry by Mochi Mochi Land. I don't remember what her actual name is. Anyways, it's a free pattern. And I tagged her in my story the other day, and she shared the little picture I did. So I had a picture of Scamp sniffing it. It was so cute. Well, I was gonna put it next to like a Looney or something for size comparison, but then Scamp was sitting right there and her nose was available, so that's what I did. So yeah, it's like the size of a quarter or so. I think I'm gonna do some more and maybe sell them at the what's it called? The Grove Festival. That's coming up in Cape Real in June. But I think I'm gonna switch to DK Weight because I think this is a little too fiddly. Hi Lees, no worries about being late. I was late too. I had technical issues. My Wi-Fi wasn't working, and then I had more technical issues. I can't see comments tonight, so here we are. So yeah, it was totally fun. Fun to do. My tiny little chicken. Speaking of chickens, then I decided I would try to make one of those Granny Squirt chickens. And so I decided to use the colors from my emotional support chicken I decided I was going to do up 2. So I did 2 of these squares yesterday. Even got them together. But you can see they're not together anymore. That is, can you tell the difference between the squares? That is because in watching there's a tutorial video for putting the squares together. In watching it, I realized that she had an extra row around her squares compared to what I had done. So I had followed the one that I've got because I didn't want to do this one because that was too many colors and stuff. So this, she's got an extra round after this one here. You can see it here. And so that's what I needed to do. So instead I ripped out, I actually ripped off because I didn't want to rejoin yarn more than I needed to. So I ripped off the burgundy round and got the burgundy rounds done again. And I've made my notes so I can finish the rest of the granny square chicken. So I doubt I'll get it done tonight, but maybe Friday night or Saturday. I should have maybe I'll have the chicken done for Saturday. That would be pretty good. So yeah, this is the Sunburst granny square, same as in my chair. Whoop, right here. You can see this one. That's the granny square pattern I used, except yeah, I had to add an extra round. So I made myself some notes. And then she just whip stitched the squares together on her video. So what I decided I would do is I sewed them together like I did the Battenberg blanket squares. And that works really well. But then I realized a couple other things. So just after watching the video of how it gets sewn up and everything, yeah, I'm going to leave a couple long tails. Oh, I forgot to, yeah, I should slip stitch this to the corner and then leave a long tail. And then do the same thing when I put the squares together, is leave a long tail. Because what ends up happening is you seam the 3 sides together and then you squash the square a different way to get this triangle part, which you can't really tell in this picture, but there's like a flat line that goes across the back of the chicken. So then you can use the 2 ends, less ends to tuck in, is always my goal. Yeah, to finish it off. So stay tuned. I'll probably have some, if you're in on Saturday, I'll probably have it done. And then I will post pictures once I get it finished too, but it's super fun to do. Just something different. I noticed the lady, I can't think of her name now, that owns the Match Factory now. Is it Katya? Anyways, she's actually doing it as a class, the granny square chicken. So if anybody wants to do it as a class, we could. It wouldn't be too much work to do as a class. And I'll have good notes after I have this done. And then more crocheting. I finished the Battenberg blanket, the baby size I was working on. Finished all those picot edges. I keep forgetting. I have the rest of the yarn here. I need to weigh it so I know how much I actually used around the outside. So this would be like a good stroller size or something like that. It's almost lap Afghan size. It could be a little bit bigger. Actually, if you went and did worsted weight squares, this is a DK. If you did worsted weight squares, it might make it to lap Afghan size. And then how many squares did I use? This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 40 squares. Hi, Selena. You just got home? That's okay. We haven't started the yarn tasting stuff quite yet. So that's the Battenberg blanket. It's another free pattern on Ravelry. I always like free patterns. The Sunburst granny square that I did for the chicken, the granny square chicken. It's a free one too. I'm trying to think. So actually, let me find the chicken here. Oop. It's a free one, but I don't remember how I found it. And I did make some changes to it. So, Oh, okay, so that was something else. We can talk about that another time. I don't have to talk about it today. Okay. You'll remember I did, oh, we still have yarn left. I did this baby sweater. I haven't tucked in any ends or anything yet. I finished the baby sweater. I should block it, actually. That's what I should do. And I did the I-cord. And then I decided I was making booties. So I got the 2 little booties done. Still need tuck in ends. And then I've got this much left. So I'm just going to do a hat. I haven't decided which one yet. This is from the my Just for Babies 3-month set. And I've got the choice of a bonnet or a toque with a top knot. So let's vote. B for bonnet or T for top knot toque. So I could do this one or this one. Should we do bonnet or top knot toque? I can't decide. Either would be cute. I think I have enough yarn for either as well. The top knot toque would probably be faster. What do you think? Anybody want to vote? Oh, Selena says T for toque. Terry says T for toque. Karen says top knot. Patty says T for toque. Diane says T for toque. Okay. Oh, Lee says bonnet. Well, sorry, Lee's, you lose. Everybody said toque. All right, toque it is. I will make the toque next. Actually, I think I can even do it on shorties. How awesome would that be? And whip that up next. And then I'll have a cute little set, and we'll have a nice little new display of baby stuff here at the store. How lovely. Yeah, either should be fast, but okay, the bonnet it is. Alrighty. Whoops. I lost my pin. Uh-oh. The back must have fallen off in the bag. I didn't hear it fall to the ground. I just had the thing in my lap. Okay, I'm putting the pin in the bag, and hopefully I find the piece later. It's probably caught in the yarn or something. So it's not here on my chair. Good grief. Okay, one last project to show you. Only because I made a slight progress. I rewound my yarn because it was getting a little crazy. So I did finally try on my Strya cardigan. And I made a little bit of progress this week. I've added in, we're right here. I just put in the teal stripe last week. And so I got passed up to the peach stripe. And I've tried it on, and I've realized that I should finish a full repeat. So once I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more colors to go, and then that length might be long enough. So once I get back to the gold color, I'm going to try it on again and see if the length is right. I've decided not to do any decreases unless when I tried on this last time, if I feel like I need it. So this is the Strya cardigan by Andrew Mowry. And if you want to, you can join in her March to May knit along that she's doing. It can be a whip. I found out she runs it on Ravelry, and I think you can tag an Instagram post as well. I don't think I'll have this done for the end of May. I realized that as of Monday, this coming Monday, the 14th, no, this coming Monday is the 7th. So there's no way I'm having it done in like a week and a bit. But as of April 14th, I'll have worked on this for a year. Now, that being said, I have also knit many other things and have not been working on this the full time. It just so happens that I tend to put projects aside and only work on them little bits at a time, here and there. And so, yes, some things take me a long time and other things do not. Oh, okay, and that's the end of my project brigade. That'll be enough of that fun for tonight. Is there anything else on my list before we get started on the yarn tasting? Not only half an hour in, but I was late, so it's not even half an hour in. And then we had technical issues, which always delays things. Okay, so just so you know, don't stress over taking notes tonight. Just keep in your mind the ones you really like. Tomorrow morning, about 10 o'clock, once I get the computer going and can embed this video, there'll be a blog post go up on the website tomorrow. And I will send out an email blast and social media post to let you know that the blog post has been posted. That's a lot of posts. So don't stress about taking notes. Everything will be there. I've already got it all done. I just really need to embed the video, and then it's ready to be live. So it'll include all the information for each of the new yarns, including the price of each of them. What else did I put in there? Oh, there's links to all of the colorways, as well as links to the patterns for each of the new yarns, plus any other ones. There's a few more collections that we'll look at, some of it tonight. And then, I think that's it. Is that all I wanted to say? Valerie, you don't need to worry about posting any more links. They can get them all tomorrow because everything will be linked in the blog. So a few of you did order yarn tasting kits. This is what they look like. I borrowed Valerie's off the shelf because she hasn't come to get it yet. And inside, there's a few fun things, but this is the fun part. These are 6 mini skeins. They contain 4 of them are the new yarns, and then there's 2 other ones in here. They included Tilly and Vintage Baby Hand Paint, which aren't. So Tilly has new shades that don't include the black, like the first batch does, or first set of colorways, and then the Baby Hand Paint. No, Vintage Sock Hand Paint is new. So there's new colorways that are multicolored, which is kind of cool. So they included those in case you haven't tried them out. And then, yeah, the 4 new yarns. Also, there's a cute little sticker. And on this nice card, there is a QR code that'll take you over to Baroko's website where all the new stuff is. But also, there's a coupon code on the back so you can get 1 of their patterns for half price. Now, if you didn't order a kit, you totally don't have to, but if you do want to, we can still get them in. Because Baroko does some, like this was, I ordered the LYS Party, they call it. So that contains 15 kits, but we can also get them individually. So, okay, so Valerie, yours is back on the shelf, so we don't lose it. I did include... somebody asked last year, because I started this last year when Baroko came out with their new catalog format. I did up a new bookmark. So it's got the spring and summer yarns. This is in order of how the yarns show up in the spring summer catalog. So in this one that you guys get. So I went through, and as a yarn came up, I wrote it down, and then I got all the prices there. Alrighty. So that's in there for you. You guys also get a menu, which gives you all the info on the 6 yarns that you've got. Plus, it has a QR code to show you the new spring designs. But let's get started. If you come into the store, I have knit up the 4 new yarns. Look at those. So they'll be out on display starting tomorrow, along with other spring yarn samples that we have from previous seasons, as well as they've got their 4 printed pattern books, 1 for each of the new yarns. So those will be here so you can look at them and actually check out the patterns before you would purchase them if you want to. So those are here at the store. I'm not going to go through these tonight. We'll just go through the catalog with the new patterns because you don't need to see all the drawings and stuff. However, if you have questions, you can always ask, and I will share with you as much detail as I can as we go through this. Okay, so all of the new yarns are from Italy. How exciting is that? So first, and there's 45 new patterns for this season. Oh, as well, I get one of these, which has all the new colorways for the yarns. So I'll show you that after. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about all of those things. So many papers. Okay, let me move things. Let's get organized here. Okay, so first up in your book, if you want to follow along, is Modern Linen. Modern Linen is 100% linen. It's a sport DK weight. That's knit on a 3.75 to 4 millimeter needle. The 100 gram skeins have 273 yards in them, and they're priced at $37 each. Remember, you don't need to take notes. Everything will be on the blog tomorrow. So this is Modern Linen Knit Up. Okay, so I did knit with this. It wasn't as stiff and crunchy as some linen yarns we've tried out previously, or that I've tried out previously. It blocks really nicely, and the more you wash and wear it, the softer it'll get. Alrighty. Where did... Oop, hold on. Okay. I've got to get all my notes in the right order. It's so weird sitting here. I wasn't prepared to do this here. I was going to do it over there. Okay, so the first design is called Sit Well. Done in the Modern Linen. It is, okay, I should mention this before we get started on all of these tops and things. So, all of the tops include positive ease. The ease varies depending on the top, but positive ease is your bust size plus some inches. So some patterns will be recommended like 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. Others will have more. Things like sweaters, like I've got on tonight, you want a little bit of room so that you can fit other things underneath. You know, something like a tank top that you're wearing as a layering piece underneath other layers, you would probably want to have 0 or just a little bit of ease. So when we go over these tonight, I just want to remind you that that's what positive ease is. Okay, so this one is done bottom up in pieces. It's got some lovely texture in it, as well as stockinette. That was Sit Well. It's knit. It's recommended to have 6 to 10 inches of positive ease, so your bust size plus 6 to 10 inches. And the bust circumferences for this one is 40.5 inches up to 72.5 inches. So for example, if I was going to do this one, my bust size is about a 36, so I would be looking at around a 46 or just a little less for doing one. So that's a Sit Well. Then we have Rilke, R-I-L-K-E. It's a tank and duster set. Both are knit. The tank is done bottom up in the round with some lace going up the center. It's recommended to have 1 to 3 inches of positive ease. So of course, this one is underneath layers, so you don't need as much ease. And the bust size is 32 3/4 to 72 3/4. And then the duster, which could be worn with or separate, has the same lace. It's done bottom up in one piece. And it's recommended to have 6 to 12 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this one is 40 to 75 inches. I believe it's left open. Some tops, the measurements are with them closed. Other ones are with them open. Then we've got, okay, Breton. This one is crocheted. This cute little cardigan. It's done bottom up with 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this one is 29.5 up to 65. So quite a large range of options. Then we've got Lorca, which is a dress. It's got 4 colors in it that they fade out. It's done bottom up in pieces, and it's recommended 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and the bust size is 36 to 68 inches. So there's a little bit of switching the yarns as they change colors. Very cute. Then we've got, this one is a Lowell. It's a crochet top, down bottom up in pieces, recommended to have 2 to 6 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this one is 32 to 72. And then there is Percy. A Percy is cool. It's got a crossed back. It is done flat. It's also done top down. It's recommended to have 4 to 10 inches of positive ease, and the bust size is 33 to 57.5. Now, because of the construction, it may actually fit a lot more sizes depending on how much ease you like, and can be a little bit more flexible, but totally neat knit. So those are all the modern linen designs. Does anybody have any questions about those? If you haven't knit with linen before, it is different. It doesn't have the same stretch as a lot of other yarns do. Stretch and bounce back. It is very nice though. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, next up is Iris. Okay, this is an exciting yarn. This one is made up of 50% cotton, 32% bamboo, 10% merino, and 8% yak. So it's got a little bit of yak in there. It's nice and soft. It doesn't feel too cottony. I didn't find it cottony knitting with it. It does have a little bit of texture to the yarn, or heathering, because of the different fibers in there. It's a worsted weight skein, so knit on a 4.5 to a 5 millimeter needle, and it has 218 yards per 100 grams, and those are $37 a skein. So that is Iris, and they have some fabulous designs for this one too, both knit and crocheted. So first up is Bristol Front. It is actually, so this one's crocheted and it's done sideways and seamed. You can see how the stitches run this way on the sleeve and up and down on the front with these fun little ruffles. It's got 4 to 6 inches of positive ease recommended, and the bust size is 31.5 up to 71 inches. Then we've got Cebu. It is a tank and cardigan set. The cardigan is done bottom up, and it's meant to have 2 to 8 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on it is 34 to 74. The lace work in here is some fun crossed over stitches. Similar to, what's that shawl that Hohi's got that has the crossed over stitches in it? She has a few different versions of it. I can't remember now. That's what it looks like. Very similar. And then the tank, it's done bottom up in the round. It's recommended to have 2 to 8 inches of positive ease. So you can see here in this picture, it's done with a top underneath. Well, actually on both. And the bust size on it is 33 to 73. Hipster, yes, that's the name of the shawl. So if you've done the hipster shawl, it would be the similar stitch pattern design in there. Super easy. Lots of yarn overs and fun stuff like that. Okay, then we've got Nightjar, which is a crocheted bag. It's done bottom up. It's really cute with these fun ties. It's 26 inches around and about 12 inches tall, plus the straps. So 12 inches from here to there, plus the straps. A nice, easy construction, and it is crocheted. Then we've got Imperial. This one has a fun, Imperialis. Good grief, these names. It's got fun texture to it. It's done bottom up in the round, and it's meant to have 5 to 10 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this one is 34 to 73.5. There's no sleeves on it, it looks like. So you split for front and back and then just have the shoulder seams to do. Actually, let me check that. Where did my book go? Which yarn are we looking at? Iris. Do, 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 do. Yep, I was right. It looks like you cast on a few stitches. It's just barely a little blip out. So there's really isn't sleeves on that one. In case you were wondering. But yeah, it's just a knit and purl texture with some yarn overs in there. And probably a decrease. Okay, then we've got, this one is called Dove. It is crocheted, bottom up and seamed, with 4 to 10 inches of positive ease recommended. And it's 30.5 inches to 73.5 inches for the bust circumference. Super cute. The ruffles are kind of fun. Ruffles apparently are in this year. Then we've got Violeteer. This is your typical top down in the round all one piece top. This time with some little bit of lace work in there. Recommended 4 to 10 inches of positive ease, and the bust size is 32.5 to 74.75. This would be lovely to wear, especially in this iris yarn. It's very nice and soft. So that is the collection of patterns for the iris yarn. Now, that being said, as always, you can switch different yarns. If there's a pattern you like and a yarn that'll fit that you would prefer, you can always do that. Somebody's, who was it? Had been looking at the patterns already, of course, because Baroko's had them on their website for quite a while. And liked one of the patterns, but didn't love the yarn. So then she's wondering, can I switch them out? Because I really want to try this other yarn instead. So it does, if the yarns are compatible, like switchable, it totally would work. Diane says, can you please tell us the direction for the swatches? How many stitches you cast on, and how many rows of stitches or garter stitch? How many rows or stitches of garter stitch around the borders? Okay, so these ones, you don't have to do this up like I do. I do these as swatches to have here for the store. So what I always do is I take the smallest size needle and the gauge that they recommend, and then I double the stitch count. So for example, the iris yarn, is it on here? Iris should be on the 4.5 millimeter needle, 18 stitches per 4 inches. So I would cast on twice as much. So 36 stitches on the 4.5 millimeter needle. And then I usually just do 3 stitches on either edge, stay as knitted. And I usually just do 2 garter ridges. So I cast on and then, because I usually do long tail cast on, knit 3 rows, and then I start knitting across, and then knit 3, purl to the last 3, knit 3 again until I use most of the yarn, and then do the same at the top. However, if you're going to do this as like gauge swatching for a project you want to do, then you want to go with the gauge that you're looking for in the pattern. So for example, let's look at Violeteer, just because we happen to have the iris yarn out and I still have the book out. So for Violeteer, it says the gauge 18 stitches on the larger needles, and the larger needles on this is a 4.5. So you should cast on more than 18 stitches because you want to be able to measure at least 4 inches. The wider you measure, the better, and the larger your gauge swatch is, the better. So you don't have to knit up the whole thing like I've done. But so 18 stitches, so you want to have an area that's at least 22 stitches wide that you can lay out and measure nicely. Because you're not going to go like right from the edge, because edge stitches are usually a little wonky. You're wanting to measure from in the center of your fabric. And I would recommend actually blocking it as well. That'll give you a better idea, especially because you'll have the kit and you'll have time to do your gauge swatch while we wait for the yarn to come in. So does that help, Diane? You definitely don't need to knit up the whole thing like I did. I just like to do that so we have a nice large sample. And to show you how far the little mini skein goes, it's kind of nice. But yeah. So yeah, I would say cast on like 30 stitches. And then the only reason it's nice to have the garter ridges is so that you have that edging to help it lay flatter rather than curling, especially if you aren't blocking it. Diane says, okay, that's exactly what I want to know. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely don't swatch just to swatch. I would play around with the yarn and see if you like it. Or if you see a pattern that you really like and want to try out, then I would start swatching with the yarn specifically for that and do it that way. I wouldn't swatch just for... Don't swatch like I do. I only swatch to have a sample here at the store. If I actually was swatching, yes, I would be looking at the pattern to see what it requires and then swatching with those instructions. And as well, you should swatch in the stitch pattern of that they tell you to. So for example, yeah, it says, like for Violeteer, it says 18 stitches and 29 rounds in 4 inches in stockinette on larger needles. Let's flip over to that other top, Imperialis, and it says the gauge is 17 stitches in 4 inches in the stitch pattern. So then you have to go to this pattern stitch where it shows you in here, and that's what you want to do as your gauge swatch. You don't want to do just stockinette because that's not going to give you the correct gauge. That's just giving you gauge for stockinette. Whereas this would be, if you're going to do that Violeteer pattern, Imperialis, which was this fun textured one, you want to do that texture on your swatch. Because I'm just having these swatches in the store, I just knit them up in stockinette. And that gives us a rough idea. Because that would be the same as using the gauge off the label of the yarn. Debbie says, I love the sheen on both the Tilly and Modern Linen. Yes, both of those are lovely. We did have Tilly before last year. So they've added in some new colorways, which I'll show you at the end. But yeah, and yeah, the linen is very nice. So does that help? Oh, Diane says, that is great info. Yes. You should always swatch in the gauge stitch that they tell you to in your pattern. I know it can be a little frustrating when you're looking at, say, a Ravelry page and it'll say, oh, to do it in the stitch pattern when you haven't bought the pattern yet and you don't have the stitch pattern. But if there was one that you were wanting to do and you haven't bought the pattern yet, I will photocopy the stitch pattern so that you can try out your gauge swatch if you want. Okay? Get you going and have some fun. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to swatch before you actually buy the pattern too, so I totally get that. But that one's not a difficult stitch pattern at all. Okay, our next yarn. This one's pretty fun. This one is called Papery. Actually, that's how I'm saying it. Papery. It is a worsted or a ran weight. It's knit on a 5.5 millimeter needle. It's 90% cotton and 10% textile papers. It's literally got paper in it. All those little blips of color are flecks of paper. Actually, let me see. Do I have a little bit of it left? Yes, I do. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, okay, this is what I have left over from the yarns that I knit. I have 0 of the Iris. Here's the Modern Linen I have left. This is Vera, the next one. And here's Papery. So you can see the little blips of color in the yarn are actually the paper. So much fun. How the heck did I put this together? There. So they're just wound in there as another strand. Isn't that fun? It's really hard to do this. Oh, there. Is that better? Can you see it now? If you got your yarn tasting kit, it is so fun to check these things out. I will say the spring summer line is always, or lines are always my favorite to check out because they have the coolest different kinds of fibers in them compared to what we normally knit with, because we tend to knit with like wool or wool blends. So yeah, it's really fun to knit with these other ones for a change, something different. So papery, these come in 50-gram skeins that have 102 yards, and they are 17 each. So they're a little on the heavier side. I mean, the thickness of the yarn is a little bit heavier. This is definitely thicker than vintage. Vintage is normally knit on a 4.5. Selena says, I find the paper a little rough in the skein. Does it soften up after blocking? Yes, it's a little bit softer. I don't notice it so much when you're feeling the fabric. I did notice it in the yarn as well. How does one wash it? This one here. Oh, I don't know. I know it's on the blog post, but let me check in here. I think it's in here. Nope. Okay. Valerie, can you check on the website and see? Because it's not in the yarn sample book. Valerie will find out how we wash it. I'm pretty sure it's a hand wash though. I did soak and then block all of the squares, so they have been blocked, but that's it. Yeah, so it is a little rough in the skein, but it's definitely not so rough as a fabric. Selena, test it out and see what you think. Okay, so we'll get started on then the designs for this one. This is called Rinny. It is done top down in the round and recommended 4 to 8 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this is 34 to 70 inches. Oh, Valerie says hand wash in cold water, lay flat to dry. Yes. It is a raglan sweater, this one. It's hard to see on here, but there's raglan shaping here. And because it's top down, if you feel that this is too short, you could definitely make it a little bit longer. As always, if you're doing that, I recommend doing your sleeves first and then using whatever you've got left to do the body as long as you want it. So, yeah. And then next we've got Kara. This is a cute tank. Look at that. It's done bottom up in the round, recommended to have 2 to 6 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this is 36.5 to 68.5. This would be a fun, quick knit with those yarn over rows. The model's wearing a 40.5, which would be about the size I would use, and it's got 5 balls for that one. Super cute. Okay, and then we've got Maeve. This one is knit as well. It's got dolman sleeves and it's cropped. It's done bottom up. And now this one is measured actually at the waist because of the dolman sleeves. If you've never seen dolman sleeves before, let me actually see if they've got a better picture in their other book. No, they don't really. You can kind of see here where it puffs out a little bit. So they're done wider. Oh, I know what. Here, let's get the schematic at the back. There's the schematic at the back. So this is why they're measuring at the waist and not at the bust, because the sleeves are included in that bust size. So they measure at the waist. So it's 0 to 2 inches of positive ease at the waist. And the waist size is 32.5 up to 71. So that's for that one. All right. Whoop. Whoa, almost lost the book. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Okay, this is Cassie. It is a cute little shawl that's knit up in lace that mimics crochet. So if you wish you could crochet, here's your chance to do it in knitting. Rather than the reverse. We usually do the reverse. We make our crocheting look like knitting. Well, this time we're going to make our knitting look like crochet. It's 57 inches wide and then 29 inches at the center. Super cute. Then this one is a cute little vest called Rita. It's done bottom up in one piece. Recommended to have 2 to 6 inches of positive ease, and the bust size on this is 32 to 71. It is all garter ridges, so it will be a super fast knit because all you're doing is knitting other than those buttonholes and some shaping. Maybe Aiden would like something like that. Who knows? Okay, then we have, this one's crocheted. This is Teresa. There is a duster and a tee, all in the same stitch designs. Both are done one piece. The dusters has a 6.5 inch gap at the front, and it comes in 3 sizes, 39, 52, and 65. And it's meant to have 2 to 10 inches of positive ease. And then the tee is done in one piece as well and comes in 3 sizes, 45.5, 58.5, and 71.5. And it's meant to have 6 to 14 inches of positive ease. That is super fun. Oh, now something I did not notice. Let's quick look. I should have, yeah, so they're done in different motifs. Da, 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 da. Okay, so you just kind of make them as you go. Yep, join as you go according to the diagram. That's pretty easy. And they have the instructions written out as well as diagrams. So much fun. What was I checking? The bust measurement includes the gap at the front. I wanted to see the drawing. That's what I wanted. Okay, so the sleeves are just 1 extra row. That's what I want to know. On both the duster and the top. So cute. Who else would like to make this? I don't know if I would want to do the duster. That is a lot of balls. A lot of motifs. I would feel like I'd be at it forever. Okay, so those are the papery patterns. So much fun. Okay, and last but not least for the new yarns, we have Vera. Vera is a DK weight yarn, DK to worsted. It's 80% organic cotton and then 20% viscose aloe vera. So it's made from the viscose, which is like rayon or nylon, a little bit like nylon-y, is made from the aloe vera plant. It's knit on a 4 to 4.5 needle. So it's about, I would say it's close to the vintage, although I did knit it on the 4mm needle. These ones have 218 yards and 100 grams, and they're $37 each. So all 3 of the new yarns are $37 each. The one that is $17 is the paper one. So this is Vera. And now let's look at the patterns. So it comes in some fun colors. And first up, we have a crochet design. This one is a multi-directional, what's the word I want? Construction. I wrote down creation. I meant construction. So you start with some going this way and you join it together and then you crochet around the bottom. It's meant to have 1 to 4 inches of positive ease, and it's done with a bust size of 32 to 67. So neat. They have some cool colors in this one. It kind of feels a little retro. Then we've got another crochet pattern. This is Maui. It's a nice shawl done up in Vera. It's 54 inches wide and 23 inches at the center. Then we've got Legos. Yes, I can't even read my own notes sometimes. This is a cute little tank. It's done bottom up in the round, Meant to have 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. And the bust size on this is 32 to 71 and a quarter. Or 3/4. 3/4. Yeah, I can't read my notes. Super cute. It's got cute little detailing right in here that's cables. Nope, lace. I lied. It's lace. So much fun. Okay, and then we've got Bali, which is, whoops, I moved my note. I didn't need to move it yet. Bali is knit bottom up in one piece, and it's meant to have 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. And the bust size is 31 to 68. When it's closed, it doesn't, like, it's not telling you the length of the ties there. Just when it's closed like this, the bust size is 31 to 68. Cute little sleeves. If only we're all that skinny, right? Does Vera soften up after blocking? Yes, I find it's a little softer. I like it fine. I wouldn't say it was itchy scratchy. It was nice to work with. I liked it okay. And then we've got Mirabella. This one is done bottom up, and actually it shows 2 different ways of wearing it. So this is with the with making it a V shape because of the seam, and then this is wearing it so that it's this split's going across this way. So it's worked bottom up, worked flat, and it has a 3-needle bind off. And it comes in 4 sizes. So 32, 35, 38, and 41 inches wide. So that means across the whole piece, like this way. So you would measure kind of from, like, if you're trying to figure out how wide you'd want it, you'd kind of measure from, like, say your elbow to your elbow or something. Give you that kind of idea. Let me find. Let's look in the book. Does it show any other pictures of her wearing it? No, not really. Yeah, I would say if you were trying to figure out how to wear it or how big to make it, I would get somebody to measure from about your elbow across to your other elbow, and then go with a size that's approximately close to that to give you the right width to make it look like you've got a bit of a sleeve there, but super cute. And I would be tempted, because it's done flat and then seamed, I would actually be tempted to knit both at the same time on one long needle, so that you get them the exact same and you don't have to do the same thing twice. But that's me. I'm all about the shortcuts. Okay, and last in the Vera patterns is Destin. This one is top down in the round with some beautiful lace work. It's recommended to have 4 to 6 inches of positive ease, and the bust size on this is 33 to 68 3/4. It's got a lacy cable running down in through the yoke area. Super cute. So those are all of the new yarns and the new patterns to go with the new yarns. Vera was our last one. Yeah, I think it's softer. It's not a super soft yarn. I think the softest one out of the 4 new ones would definitely be Iris. The Paperie would be next, and then Vera would probably be last. I've only washed and blocked these once though. This does have a nice bounce to it too. Okay, but that is not the end of the patterns because there are more patterns. These ones are all digital only, so I don't have copies of them to check out. But they are pretty fabulous as well. This one is called Sycamore. It's done in Remix. That would have been good to write down. It's done bottom up. It's got 2 to 8 inches of positive ease recommended, and the bust size on this one is 32 to 72. Look at that cute little cable-y lace work in there. So nice. Then we've got Hemlock done in Summer Sesame, one of our favorite yarns. So this is a long self-striping or color-changing yarn. There's little blips of like Tweety bumps in it. And this one has a few new colors. This top is done top down in the round, all one piece. Recommended 2 to 8 inches of positive ease, and the bust size on this is 36 3/4 to 71 1/4. Very cute. It doesn't show a ton of detail, but it looks like slip stitches on that one. Yeah, slip stitch pattern that lends a woven look to the yoke. Woo! All right, and then we've got Cypress, which is done in Pima 100. It is worked flat in these granny square-ish motifs. And then it's joined as you go. Got recommended 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. And then the bust size on this is 32 to 72 inches. Those are the Wanderlust patterns. Then Harbor Days patterns has a nautical feel to it. This is called Elms, and it's done in Pima Soft. It's done bottom up in the round. It has drop shoulder construction, you can see here. Recommended 4 to 8 inches of positive ease, and the bust size on this one is 34.5 to 70.5. Very cute. They look to be full-length sleeves, although they've pushed them up. Then we've got Breakers done in Modern Cotton DK. It's done bottom up in the round. Cute little tank. Recommended 1 to 4 inches of positive ease, and it does have a fun texture to it. Let's see if I can. Nope. It doesn't, I can't get it close enough, but it's broken rib, so it'd be knit around, rib around, because it's done in the round. Yes. That's the stitch pattern on that one. And bust size on this one is 34 to 70 inches with 1 to 4 inches of positive ease recommended. And then this one is called Hunter House. It's a cute little cardigan knit up in Modern Cotton, so the worsted weight version, including cables and lace. It's done in pieces and then seamed. Recommended 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and the bust size on this is 31.5 to 69. That would be with it buttoned up, just as it shows. They've done a cute little crochet bag out of Remix Chunky called Marble House. It is done bottom up in the round. So it's 15 inches tall. No, 15 inches wide and 13 inches tall, plus the handles, which are actually leather ones that you'd have to purchase and so on. So cute. Unless you came up with something else that you wanted to do. But they used leather ones. And then we've got King's Coat, which is a nice little scarf done in vintage sock. It's 8 inches wide and 66 inches long. So it's going to have really short rows, but there's going to be a lot of them. And then we've got Rose Cliff, which is a crocheted top. It's done in pieces and seamed. Very cute. The design works all in the back. Recommended 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and the bust size is 36.5 to 60 inches. So the front's kind of plain, and then the back has the stitch pattern design on it. Now, see, if it was knit, I would be tempted to knit the bottom up in the round until you get to splitting for front and back, and but it's crocheted. Okay, Romantic Prairie is another set of patterns. First up is Heartleaf, which is this cute little cardigan, a vintage sock, and Ariel held together, so mohair. It's done sideways and then seamed. It's recommended to have 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. You can see the seam there in the middle. Bust size is 30.5 to 64 3/4. Very cute. Then they've got Prairie Rose, which is a top-down knit shawl with a lace border. It is 56 inches across and 28 inches at the center. quite long. It is super lovely though. It's got that yoke style increasing where it's done all in one spot rather than our usual where we increase at different every row or whatever. Okay, then we've got Windflower, which is, oh, Remix Light held with Barocco Aerial Color. So the multicolored mohair. It is done top down and it has slip stitch design work in it. Recommended to have 2 to 6 inches positive ease. And the bust size on this is 32.5 by up to 67.5. Then this cute little bag made out of Pima Soft is called Thimbleweed. It is crocheted, bottom up in the round, and is 20 inches round and 11.5 inches tall plus the strap. Super cute. That would be fun to do. Who wants to get on that? I might have to crochet that Pima Soft. Okay, and last but not least for the new patterns, they've got a set called Nest and Nurture, which is a house set, also baby. So first up is a whole set of baby clothes. There they are. Isn't that cute? So first up is Ashwin. That's this set here. It's done in modern cotton. Modern cotton. The pullover is done bottom up in the round, and the bottoms are done top down in the round. And the sizing for these baby clothes are all 3 to 24 months. Then Melania? I don't know how you say that. Is a crochet top done in modern cotton DK. Cute little dressy thing. It's worked flat all in one piece. And then Azra is the little jacket that is done in Remix Light. It's bottom up one piece and it's garter ridges. It's hard to see on that picture. And yeah, like I said, all 3 to 24 months. So cute. Then we have some fun home decor pieces. First up is Lennox. It's done in Vintage Baby. This cute little pillow. It's done bottom up and then seamed, and it's for an 18-inch square pillow. Then Jace is either a breastfeeding pillow, or it's also used just for holding your books if you wanted. It's knit up in Pima 100. It's actually done in the round, and the circumference is 19 inches. So that means around the tube of the pillow. Then we've got Xander, which is this beautiful Afghan done in Vintage. It is seamed, so you're doing the squares individually, and the blanket is 42 by 54. That one there. And then Janae, Janae, is done in Vintage Baby. It's done from the center out, and the diameter is 48 inches. It's another beautiful blanket. And who can resist a stuffy? This one is called Jackson, and it's done in Vintage and Aerial Mohair. It's done in the round, so no seaming, and it's got 18 inches around, and it's about 9 inches long. So those are all the fun, cute patterns in the new book. So what are you casting on first? I know, there's really too many choices for sure. So many we want to do. Where did I put, oh, here. Okay, let me show you a couple. So if you want to see new colorways, you can go on Barocco's website, and they have all the colorways on there. But I'll show you some of the new ones out of the book tonight. So there are the colors of Iris. The Iris comes in. Next is Modern Linen. That's not all though. Modern Linen has quite a few. There, all those ones as well. Then we've got Papery, which is these ones. And Vera, which is those ones. Linda says she loves the Jackson Stuffy. I agree. He's super cute. Okay, and then we're into our regular yarns. So Ariel, their mohair got some new colors. Ariel Color got some new ones. What are you going to make? I'll honestly have no idea. Bazzolo got some new ones. Bazzolo was from last year. Let me flip through and see what other ones have new colors. None of those ones. Lumi got a few new ones across the top there. Zoop. Has anybody picked yet? I know some have been looking early. Modern Cotton got some new ones up here. If you go on Barocco's website and look at any of the yarns, the new colorways are usually right at the top. They add them in up there. They're also in the Modern Cotton DK, a bunch of new ones. I honestly really shouldn't cast on anything else because I should finish my Straya cardigan, but maybe I'll do a bag or something. What are we looking at? Pima 100 got some new colors. Those are some fun ones. Does Tilly have new ones? Yes, we'll get to those. Pima Soft has a few new ones. So in these yarn catalogs, they put the new yarns at the beginning, whichever ones are new, and then they put the rest in alphabetical order. So Remix got a couple of new ones, and Remix Chunky did not. Remix Light did though. Yeah, Remix Light got a few new ones. Oh, Splash got a few new ones right in here. Those are kind of fun. One is actually called Winnipeg, which I thought was kind of neat. Anyway, from Winnipeg, need new colorway. Spree didn't get any new ones. Summer Sesame got a couple of new ones. Yes, okay, so here's Tilly. So these are the original ones. These is a hand-dyed cotton yarn, and they had the black speckles on them, which turned out really cool. I have my top here. But they're new ones, still tonal, but none of the black specks now. Isn't that fun? So they're basically all the same colorways, just without the black specks. Well, there's a few new ones. Where did I put? Oh, here. Yeah, so Tilly was one of the sample balls that in here that I didn't knit because we already have a Tilly sample, but there's Tilly. So you can see no black specks compared to, oh, see, this is why I do all these swatches. Compared to last year's Tilly, which would be this one. So there you can see it's nice and tonal, but it has black specks in it. That was in the yarn. The new one has no black specks. Ooh, that's really orangey after looking at this. So much fun. Okay, so yeah, Tilly got new colors. Da, 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 da. What else? Ooh, Vintage. Yes, Vintage got new colors. We had an update about Vintage as well. So the Vintage lines, we've had them, a lot of them have been out of stock. They're this is the Baby got some new ones. So Barocco has shipments that are still coming, more coming over the summer and stuff as well. So they should be fully restocked by the end of the summer. But we should be able to get colorways very soon. I keep looking and reserving, and yeah. Here, Vintage Baby hand paint got some new colors. Vintage Chunky did not get any new ones. Vintage DK got a few new ones. Vintage Hand Paint got a couple, no, did not get new ones. Actually, this whole yarn is new. Vintage Hand Paint. So the Vintage worsted weight is now over 100 colors, including the hand paint. And Vintage Sock got hand paint colors. Woohoo! That was the other mini skein in the yarn tasting kit, which I did not knit, but I will. I'll cast it on at some point and get it knit up. See? Same skinny thickness, but now in hand paint. Yay! So, any questions? I know that was a lot. Thank you for sticking out to the end. It's been a long evening and I'll have a big mess to clean up tomorrow. Most of the prices have stayed the same-ish from last year. There's a few that will have gone up $1 or $2 just because of regular increasing. But yeah. Okay, and our very own Kelly, who is the crafting granny, does cards, and she has said that we can give away a card at every Knots and Thoughts, and so we're kicking it off today with a free card for somebody. So let's see she said, oh, just pick a comment. Well, I'm not just gonna pick a comment. So let's do, what could be something we could pick? Okay, so let's do someone who hasn't bought a card yet. First one to comment that hasn't bought a card from Kelly yet, I'll pick your name. So if you haven't bought a card, put the word me. First one to comment gets a card. And if you haven't seen Kelly's cards before, they're all handmade. They range from $3 to $6. And they are just beautiful. She does such a great job. They come with an envelope. These are a couple of her Easter cards. Oh, Selena! Selena hasn't got a card yet. Okay, so you'll have to tell me what kind of card you would like, and I'll see what I can find. We can do that tomorrow. So she's got like some cute Easter cards and says, sending Easter wishes to someone very sweet. That's what's typed up in the inside. This one says, Happy Easter, my friend. It's got a cute little duck on the cover. Oh, so sweet. So she has quite the variety for pretty much everything. We don't have any Christmas cards right now. But if you're looking for something for like Easter, we have some Easter ones. There's like thinking of you ones. There's sympathy ones, baby showers, new baby, wedding showers. Father's Day, there's birthday ones. Yeah, lots of cute ones. So I just picked out a couple to show tonight. Yeah, so Selena, if you want to message me and let me know what your what kind of theme cards you're interested in, I will send you some pictures and we can decide over a messenger. All right, and now it's time for you to start ordering your yarn. So, if you want to, you can head over to our Sweet Yarnies Facebook group and share what you're thinking over there. I won't be on tonight. I'm going home to rest now and stop talking. Especially because it's late. It's almost 8 o'clock. These ones always go so long. But I'm happy to answer any questions. And don't forget the blog post will be up tomorrow with all of the information on the new yarns. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. All right, so have a good night. Thanks for joining in, and we'll talk to you soon. Of course, we'll be doing a make-along. So yeah, watch out for all the details. And yes, please share in our Sweet Yarnies group what you're looking to make. It's always fun to see what you're working on over there too. All right, have a good night, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye!